Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2016 car launch for Origin Front Row Racing. My name is Justin, and today we'll be taking a look at the cars and drivers that will be challenging the Formula SimRacing world from OFR in the Pro, Ace, and WC divisions. Today, I'll be joined by Peter Bell, Jeroen, Kuba, and some of the other members of OFR. First things first, though, let's talk to team boss Peter. Tell us a little bit about this car.
Hi, Justin. Thank you very much for the lovely introduction. Fantastic video as well. Yeah, the OFR002. It's our second car for our second season in Formula Sim Racing. Obviously, the first one with the brand new mod, which is obviously just for this season. Last season in WC was a nice surprise. Finishing third in the championship, Kuba finishing third in the drivers' standings as well. So, yeah, we've got three different colours. We've got the usual green, which is our main colour. The red has come back in a slightly changed format, which was our second team, and of course, brand new for this season is a lovely blue one, which is actually opinion in the team is actually very, very positive on that. So, yeah, it's just anxious to get the season started really now.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, how do you feel about the calendar for this season?
16 races. It's the longest one we've done in quite a few years in Formula Sim racing. A lot of interesting races as well. Of course, we've got obviously the old Hockenheim returning. Hungary's back on the calendar, which has been missing for a few years, as is Catalonia, Spain, and there's one more. I can't think that's returned. Turkey. That's the other one that hasn't been around. So as well as the obviously the usual ones, obviously the Silverstone, which is my favourite track, of course, I would say that. Spa, of course, and Monza, where Cuba got his win last year. So I'm looking forward to every race there is, really.
Are you targeting wins again for this season?
I think obviously it would be with the win last year and obviously how well we performed. Realistically, I think maybe we have to target wins again. Definitely be try and stay at the level that we managed to achieve last season. It's obviously last season was a little bit different to this one. We sort of entered last season knowing that it was going to be a learning year. We knew that we wasn't. We were just sort of. I'm trying to find the right word to. We were just sort of hoping that things would be well with us, and obviously just try and get as many points as possible. And I think last season went above and beyond all expectations, really, for everybody involved in the team. From Ryan, who's team manager, he's not with us today. He's not sure why. Um, Obviously Dan as well in the second WC team in the second WC car, and Cuba coming back as well. So yeah, just hopefully it'll be a another good season.
Absolutely. So, I guess maybe we should start with the incumbent driver, since Kuba's been here since last season. Kuba, maybe you want to tell us a little bit about your feelings. How about the new mod? How do you feel about the new spec with the hybrid and everything?
Yeah, well, the thing about the new car is that it's very technical. Last year you could use the same base setup and just change basic things, and you could use it for like, I don't know, 70% of the tracks. And this year, well, I don't know about this year if we could do that or not, but to get a good setup first, it requires so much work, because everything matters, and it's those little details that are gonna make the difference in this car.
And what do you think about the challengers? Are you still looking? Is it still Twister, and is it the same guys that you're concerned about that you were worried about last year? Or is it the same guys that are going to be fighting at the front?
Well, yeah, obviously Twister are always the guys you look at. Their lineup is changing a bit as well. They're gonna have Bigazzi now and Kiss. And yeah, there are guys like Greco who kind of drove last year, but he wasn't really motivated, and I'm sure he's gonna be really strong. Same with Conti. But yeah, I guess it's all well. Greco is driving for Netrex, but he's a Twister owner, and all the rest of the guys are. It's all Twister camp that we are looking at pretty much, and obviously then Ghost Speed could be dangerous.
And looking back at last season, what are you thinking? What are you looking to improve on as far as your performances, qualifying, race pace? What are you looking at?
Um, well, f- personally, I don't really know. I didn't get quali done a few times as well as I should have. So obviously you want to improve that, but that's obvious. You always want to nail quali and races. You don't have to think about that to improve that. What I would like to improve this year is to have a good setup at every track. Because last year at some tracks we would be competitive. We would like win Monza or get a podium somewhere, and the next race we would finish like half a minute behind the leader. So I wouldn't want to have that this year. You know, I would like to be at least in contention or somewhere close enough to get advantage of the leaders making mistakes every race, not just every second race.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I can agree with that. And what do you think about your new teammate?
Oh man, well at first when I heard that Jeroen wanted to join us, I was like, yeah, that's great, because he's gonna score a lot of points, he's gonna help the team in the standings, and then he's gonna help with setups and everything, and that's gonna be awesome. But now that we've done some testing, the thing with Jeroen and this car is he's very fast in this car, like very, very fast. And I right now I'm a bit desperate because I don't really know how I can match his pace. Hopefully, we've done testing mostly at Barcelona, so hopefully it's the track that suits him. I'm just, trying to convince myself it's that or the setup. I don't know, but he's insanely fast in this car, so yeah, it's gonna be tough to beat him.
And what do you think about the new livery?
Oh, the livery is awesome. I mean, I kind of liked last year. It was good, but this one is just great.
Yeah, yeah, no, it looks incredibly nice. I'm sure the cars are going to look fantastic out on track. And speaking of the devil, I guess Jeroen, how are you feeling ahead of this season? Are you pretty excited? I have to imagine you're pretty excited.
I am pretty excited, of course, but it's also important to stay with both feet on the ground. Last year was a very successful season, the way I wanted it. Of course, in Pro, I became the champion, but winning a WC race was a nice bonus, so to say. But to be honest, that race could have turned out either way. It could have also been Simulcage who was on the top step of the podium. That's the way it sometimes goes. But I've taken a nice break, I have to say, and I'm ready. I am really ready, but I don't really have any personal objectives or anything like that. I will have objectives after the first 3 races, I believe. But firstly, I want to do the maximum I can for the first 3 races or so, and then after that we can see where we are, what we have to do, and what is going well.
And Kuba was talking about how quick you are in the car. Does that mean you're liking this new spec, this new FSR mod?
No. No, I am. Well, it's a bit harsh to say that I am not enjoying it because it's FSR and it's a nicely developed car. I have to say I'm really impressed by the physics of the car and those kind of things. But yeah, it's not the mod itself which isn't good. The thing which isn't good for me is that I just don't like the modern F1 cars. That is not a secret. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them. But yeah, I have been enjoying it more and more actually during testing. In the first couple of days, I wasn't all that impressed by it, but towards the end, it got a lot better, to be honest. And yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it right now. But honestly, I think I would enjoy it a little bit more if it was a different spec car. But that's the way it is, and you have to deal with that. And I can complain for hours and hours, but that's not gonna make it better. You have to focus, and then we'll see how it goes in the season itself.
And what are your thoughts on Kuba? Kuba already talked about you joining the team. How do you feel about Kuba being your teammate?
I've said from the beginning that a big reason, a big part of the reason why I joined this team was because of Kuba. If Kuba was not here, not for this year and not last year, the chances that I would join this team were a little bit slimmer. I think Kuba is a person you can build on. He's a very stable teammate, not only fast but also very stable during races. Knows how to score points and also knows how to win a WC race, of course. It's not a secret that he is one of the biggest talents in FSR at the moment. Especially Chris de Jong is a big fan of him, who's obviously the commentator. But yeah, more in depth on him. I am also very motivated to beat him. I can feel that there could be a bit of a rivalry developing, which is exactly what I like, exactly what I need to perform better. And for Kuba, I think as well. I think we can push each other to the limits, and due to that, be higher in the standings at the end of the season.
And I'll ask you the same question I asked Kuba. Is it the usual suspects that you're worried about up at the front? Any new people you're concerned about that might be giving you guys a challenge?
Honestly, I haven't been looking a lot at others, but I think that the competition, when you look at the names, for example, is stronger than last season. That is no disrespect to the drivers who were there last season, but a lot of people have been gaining more experience, not only last year in FSR, but also, for example, in SRZ, which is an Italian competition, and a lot of FSR drivers have raced there, and they use the modern spec of one car as well. So they, of course, it's a different mod, but still they didn't take a break. For example, in the winter they kept racing, so they still gained experience. I think the competition itself is a little bit tougher, as I said, but I could be wrong as well. And as I said, I think it's more important to focus on yourself rather than others. And we have to do the maximum ourselves, and if we do that, I think we have a good shot at finishing consistently on the podium.
And lastly for you, before I think we'll switch back to Peter for a couple of questions, but what about you joining Ghost Speed, or leaving Ghost Speed, excuse me? Maybe we should just kind of get this out of the way early in the season. Why don't you talk for a minute about leaving Ghost Speed?
Leaving Ghost Speed was hectic. I have to say. The decision itself, not really, because I think there were some struggles at the time in the team, and even the team owner, not the team owner, the team boss himself said that the team was falling apart a little bit. So basically, as soon as he said that, I thought, I need to get the hell out of here. No, not really like that, but I knew that probably I would, start to look for another team which has some good experience in WC. Don't get me wrong, Ghost Speed is a beautiful team, I think, but in the first couple of months being in this team, and especially towards the preparation of the season, I do notice quite a few big differences between Ghost Speed and OFR, and that goes in favor of OFR because a lot of things here are very well organized. We have team meetings, which I never heard of in Ghost Speed, and yeah, those kind of things just really help us. And Justin, I think you can explain it as well, because you will be my engineer, of course, for the next season, and you have great telemetry data, so to say, where you can follow my car status on track real time. That is something I could have never dreamed of when I was at Ghost Speed.
Yeah, yeah. For those that are familiar with Jeroen's videos of the FSR races, they will have known. We're typically in constant communication, talking about fuel levels, tire percentages, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas with this season, I will not have to be asking as many questions of you, which will certainly be nice for me, but man, will it be nice for you not having to talk quite so much while you're driving the car. Let's quickly switch gears back to Peter. So Peter, you've got some new people for Ace and Pro as well. I'm familiar with a couple of the driver names. I know Craig Baxter, Sam Carpenter, Daniel Brewer. I know, but yeah, maybe let's talk for a minute about Ace.
Just before we talk about Ace and Pro, if you roll back the clock 18 months or so ago, when obviously the ideas of entering the team into the championship in all three divisions, because originally, obviously, Origin's Front Row Racing, originally known as Origin SimRacing, was just a pro team, and obviously that's where Kuba learned his trade in it. We've come a long way since then. I definitely feel, and I think a lot of everybody else feels, is that we're in a lot better position heading into this season that we were entering last season, because it was an unknown last season. It was very difficult to sort of know where we'd be, but I suppose you could say the same for this season, because as Kuba and Jeroen have mentioned, we're not sure if it is going to be the usual contenders that are going to be the ones to watch out for, if there's going to be anybody new to watch out for. There's a lot of teams that were hit and miss last season that have made big steps, both on track and off track, in the last few months since the Brazil race. So, we could be top of the order, we could be bottom of the order, but we'll soon see. But I think from a personnel standpoint, the additions that we've made, obviously all the 4 race drivers, since we're moving on to race now, all raced last season. One was obviously a WC driver, but could only done half the season because of other commitments, which was Daniel Brewer. And Daniel, on and off track, has been personally a very big help to me. He's, especially last season when there was a lot of things about Formula SimRacing that I was unsure of, he was one person who managed to sort of point me in the right direction, or always has fantastic ideas which direction to go in, what we should do. And it was actually from him that Jeroen is now racing for us. It was sort of him that was sort of, at first, before I spoke to Jeroen, he was sort of the go-between. So without him, I think I'd be well and truly lost in terms of Formula SimRacing. Craig Baxter and Sam Carpenter being promoted up from the Pro Division last season. Craig showing very strong performances. Sam, a little bit unlucky in terms of finishing races, and he had a fair few accidents, but I suppose there's a few drivers out there that could say the same thing. So both moving up into, and obviously just before we move on as well, Craig Baxter, Sam Carpenter and Jake from Vitesse Design, I think all 3 of them are watching. They're the ones who actually designed the car this year. So just a sort of personal thanks from me and on behalf of the team as well, for giving up their free time and putting in a hell of a lot of effort to produce what you see on screen in front of you now, all 3 liveries. Mikhail Antuchowski, I can't pronounce it even myself. He won in Spa Ace last season. He joined us middle of the season, and very, very quick. Another Polish driver, obviously alongside Kuba. So I think it's very, very positive this season. Last season we only had 1 ace team. This season we've got 2 now. So I think we're very confident in ace, definitely. Moving on to pro, there's 2 drivers who done the full season last season, or most of the season. De Wald now from South Africa, and Andrea Ventura from the United States. And Dave Paling done from Singapore onwards, so I think that was 4 or 5 races in pro. So those 3 are returning to do pro again this season. And 2 new additions, Pedro Gomez first of all from Portugal, shows a lot of promise, definitely has the speed, and we feel obviously with the people that we've surrounded ourselves with in the team, he'll definitely be able to grow and develop from there. And the same with Adam Maguire as well, the Republic of Ireland man. He's been very impressive, and again, it's just sort of, I think as Jeroen said, it's quite apt and probably very, very true. It's important that we keep our feet on the ground. We know that there's potential there with the new arrivals, and we know that there's potential within the team across all 3 divisions this season, but I think even now, with the season being 2 weeks away from starting, it's still up in the air as to where we'll actually be. And so, to say, I don't even want to say we're quietly confident, I don't want to jinx it, but I think
Typical team
I'm
boss.
definitely looking forward. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the season. Certainly, just even because, I mean, this is why we do it. In the end of the day, we've all got our reasons for doing it, but at the end, I think the one thing we do have in common is that we do it for fun. It is. We try and be competitive, but of course, if it's pointless doing it if you don't enjoy it. If you don't enjoy doing this, then there's no reason why you should do it. You don't want to do it because you feel like it's drudgery. You've got to want to enjoy it, and I think, win, lose or draw, I am going to enjoy this season.
Yep, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Really looking forward to it. Let me switch back to there we go, so we can see that wonderful livery switching through. Nice, very nice livery. Again, great job. You said that was Craig and Sam primarily that worked on that.
Yes, and Jake Smith from Vitesse Design. The 3 of them have worked around the clock to produce all 3 liveries. Dan will probably take credit for the green one and the blue one. As you can see, they're very similar. And it was Craig who done the red one. They were originally actually going to be teammates in Ace, but because they wanted to drive their own cars that they made, they're not going to be teammates now. So we've separated them. So yeah, it's I've been impressed. Everything they showed me, because obviously there's things that we've changed, and you know they've produced something, they've showed me, and they've showed others, and we've said maybe we can do this. Because originally it wasn't supposed to be this model; it was supposed to be based on a Mercedes, but now it's based on the Lotus. So we had to pretty much start it again from scratch. But it's no matter what, all three of them are fantastic. I can't pick a favourite. I've seen the green and red obviously before because we had them last season, but it's nice to see the blue as well because Front Row Racing's original colours are blue, so that's quite dear to me. But as a team, the team colours are green, and the red one was always going to be the second.
And any final thoughts from you, Peter?
Just good luck to everyone involved in the team, no matter what the role is, whether you're in WC, you're in Ace, you're in Pro, or you're working behind the scenes as an engineer or as me as a team boss. I just want you all to enjoy it.
And Kuba, how about you? Any final thoughts?
Well, let's hope we nail the setup. Let's hope we can actually drive this car pretty well as Jeroen can now, and then let's win some races.
And Jeroen, same for you.
Yeah, this is the same here. I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot to add. Other than I'm really looking forward to it. And I think we can be strong if we perform at our maximum.
And I'll do one more impromptu question to the drivers here. How do you guys feel about Melbourne? Is it a track you go well at? Is it a track you think you can perform well at?
Kuba, you want to start?
Yeah, well, last year it was a great track for us. I got P2 there, my first WC podium in my debut. So yeah, I liked it a lot. I think we're gonna use the same version as we used last year, and this track version has a lot of grip for some reason. I don't know why, but it has more grip than another track. So it could be actually quite fun in this car because it doesn't have a lot of grip in itself. So the track could make up for that. So yeah, it should be fun.
I personally, I'm a bit neutral to the track. It has a nice middle sector, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But furthermore, yeah, it's just a track, and we have to drive on it as quick as we can, and that's the way I feel about it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, certainly, as an engineer. All of you watching at home, I hope you guys are looking forward to the 2016 FSR season with Origin Front Row Racing. It should be lots of fun. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we will see you at the start of the season in Melbourne.